Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name's Christine, and this is video 1 of 5 in a series showing you these junk journal Christmas cards. And in each video, I'm going to show you how to create a piece of it, and in the end, we'll be putting it all together. But first off, I want to show you what it is in my inspiration. And so I love to make like junk journal mini books, but I found after time I stopped making them because I didn't know really what to do with them. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to create that idea, but in a holiday card? So each of the cards, I'm going to show you 3 cards that are each a little different and talk about them. And so this first one, this first layer here, it's like that. This is the Tim Holtz, their box tops. And I think ideally they were made because you can fold them and they fit on top of the little vignette boxes, and it can be sort of the top of a vignette. But because it had the window, I thought it'd be cute to use them on cards. And so in this case, I cut off the top flap, which was like this. I use this flap here as to attach it. And then it just has a cute little thing. And then I use some of the little word stickers just along the bottom there. So then when you turn it over, I had another little word sticker. And here I used the retro snowflakes on top of a background that I had previously done during earlier in the year, be it during inky backgrounds or something else. And all I did was I used some white sort of sparkle embossing over top with the retro snowflakes to make this random background into a nice snowy background, and added a couple little embellishments that you see through here. Then I made some pocket pages, which will be one of the videos. I'm going to show you how to make all the pocket pages. I collaged on it, and then I made tags just by cutting up backgrounds I previously had. Here I just put some ephemera. So if it's a junk journal, you want to have pockets, you want to have things you can pull out, little fun things to look at. I did a little collage on this side. And then I just put a rub on here. And here, if I wanted to add a gift card or something to the card, I can just put it in the pocket, or even a little special note you can write and add it in the pocket. And then I just, on this card, embossed the greeting. So I try to put in just a couple layers just to add something to make it a little bit more unique than your basic card. So this one is similar. The background, again, was an inky background, and I just embossed it, again, using the retro flakes and the embossing powder. And the one thing I have to sort of teach myself, and I mentioned to you, is that you can repeat something over and over again. It's a card that you're giving to somebody, and especially now, nobody's going to see the card you gave to somebody else. And so I always feel I need to make something different every time, but if it works, you can just repeat it. And I say that because it's for myself. Now here in the background too, I used some of the little mica flakes. I have them here. And I just individually glued some on. I don't know if it's picking up, just for a little bit more. And then I used one of the greetings on a piece of vellum, and I glued it on and added the little embellishments in the corner. So on this card, I have a different pocket going on. These were the little dies I showed you the other day. I did a cute little collage. This little kitty is supposed to just sit here, so I have the little piece you pull out. Now this little pocket is actually from a die from iCrafter, and it is part of the explosion box. But I just thought it was cute because it gave you little pockets. And again, I just cut up a card I had made and put little messages on each of the little tags that you can pull out. There's more of the little radiant. And here are rub-ons I added. I'll just put my tape down. They were I got them from Paper Plus Cloth. They're really cute. And then I made a little tag that you can pull out. And then greeting and a little rub-on in the corner. So similar but different. And then this one here, I used the large greeting stamp there, and I made, you can just see, I folded it over. I made a little flap. And then this is the background I'm going to be showing you. So I did clear embossing resist, and I added mica again to it. This time I took just a piece of ephemera, and I didn't bother. I just liked it was busy enough. I didn't need to put anything on it. Here's a different pocket I used. I added just some ephemera there. And then these here, I actually cut them from some backgrounds I made. I adhered some paper to the back, and they can be used as bookmarks. So the person getting it can have 2 bookmarks if they want to use them. So that's why I didn't put, you can just make them in tags, like more Christmassy, but I just left them as is so they could be used as bookmarks. And then this was actually a little envelope I had that came with this little Christmas greeting. I added a sticker to the bottom, and then I just put it back in there. I glued the little deer on and rub-ons, and you have your message again. So you can see there's many ways to do it. So we're going to start by just dealing with the card backgrounds. So I like to use watercolor cards when I do this. This was a 5x7 card, and I cut it down to 4x6. So by the time you had these things on, they'll still fit in the envelope. Whereas this one, I left as a 5x7 and just made sure everything was contained within the card. So it depends if you want things sticking out of the card or contained within. Then I have my stamps here. I didn't use the largest one. And then here's the rest. And I put them on this little acrylic block. And then I've used them like this for all the cards. Every time I've used the stamp, I have just left it on this block, and I've used it each time. I like to use VersaMark when I am embossing. So I have my VersaMark. I have clear embossing powder. Today I'm going to be using this Nuvo embossing powder. So I'm just going to get it opened. I don't think I've actually used this one, but my other embossing powder was getting thin, so I thought I'd use this one. I have a little spoon. Will it fit in? It won't fit in. Okay, so we'll just be pouring it over. So VersaMark is a Watermark ink pad. It's great for embossing because it's quite sticky. Now some people like to use this little pouch you can get, and they wipe down their surface so things don't stick to it, but I usually don't bother. And I just sort of position it over top. Now because VersaMark is quite sticky, you really don't need to put as much pressure on as I'm putting on. And it's clear, so you're not going to see it right away. So you won't be able to see that it's there yet. But once I start putting this on, you'll see it start to stick again. It's clear on white. I apologize, but for this technique, it's just what it's got to be. So you should be able to see now we have that there. I like to do this on paper. It just makes it easier, and then I'm just going to put it back into the bottle. Now to do the embossing, I like to use an embossing heat tool just because it is more direct and will heat up better. So I don't know if you could see it being heated, and it's probably still. Let's see if I can get some glare on there. So now we have, oh, I had a little bit that didn't get heated up, and so I just wiped it away, but let me just heat up that corner. Because I'm going to be putting a cover over this, I'm not too concerned that a little bit got smudged off. Okay, but now some of the magic will happen. My favorite colors for winter are very soft pinks, blues, and purples. And so that is what I'm going to use. And so what I'd like to do is just on a mat, I put my colors down. So it's tumbled glass, shaded lilac, and spun sugar. I give them a spritz. And then now I'm just going to smush my card in there. So, because they're really light, a lot of it doesn't pick up, but this is just step one. So I am going to dry it, and what I'm going to do is move to my heat tool. Because I have that embossing there already, I don't want to reheat really the embossing. I just want to do a light drying to my water, like to my, that I added the inks. Take a paper towel and just dry this a bit. Okay, so over here I have a lot of sort of blotchiness. I'm going to wipe this up, and I'm going to, you can see now that it's drying, you can see the pink and the blue and the purple. I'm going to put, actually what I might do, if you have distressed spray stains, they work perfectly for this. However, I only have it in spun sugar, but I'm going to just spritz some down here, and you can see how the resist now, those snowflakes are resisting some of that. Now, if you had darker colors, they obviously would show up more, but I like these really soft colors. I'm just drying some of that spray I just sprayed on, and then I'm going to do a bit more purple. So if you ever worked with distress inks, you know it's all about the layers. I'm going to put bit of purple. I don't like, see here I have like those little spots right now. I don't want those spots, so that's why I'm using my finger, just to sort of get rid of those little dots and make it more blended in. You can even like, sometimes I like the spots, but right now I'm still trying to get a bit of color. So I think a little blue. And I'm going to just, oh, I just keep throwing everything around. So I'm going to spritz a little this, I'm going to put a little of that, and I'm going to dip it again. So now that I'm building up a layer, earlier when I said I was getting rid of those little splotches, now I'm going to sort of keep them because now I'm trying to build up my texture a bit. I'm going to get rid though of just a bit here. And then what I like to do, I'm gonna wipe this up. I like to actually go in with some of the inks, especially when you're using these lighter colors. If you're finding your lighter colors aren't showing up that way because they are watered down. Oh, I could just use that, but anyway. I just will go in the areas where I want more of that color. Use the big one. So when you go in directly with your ink pad, then you'll get a lot bolder color than when you've mixed it with water. So you can see now how the colors are layering and coming up. But I like that watery sort of background because I like the softness that if you go straight with your ink pad, you might not get just that softness going on. And then what you can do is take your water bottle and just try and get a few drips going. I'm gonna just let it sit for a moment, and then I'm going to pick it up. Because of the embossing, I try not to use the heat tool too much. So what I like to do is I pick it up, so now you can see those splotches. So then I'll go back in with some pink. And fill in some of the splotches. And because it was white, it will still give you a different, it won't just completely blend in, they'll still sort of give you some little splotches. And then what you can do, what should we do first? I'm going to give you a little snow. So sometimes I'll do this in my splatter box, but for now I'll just do it on here. So I like to then take Dina's Gloss Spray White. I open it. I'm not actually going to spray it. I'm going to tap it. And this will add more little white fleck, sort of snowflake in the background. Because Dina's is acrylic paint, not a dye, it will sit on top. And then we can go in with our Distress Mica Flakes, or any mica you might have. And I might just put, just gonna make sure the glue is coming, okay. And I just sort of put a flake down or a couple of flakes, see what catches in the glue. And you can just randomly put these on. You don't have to do this step You could even just use like stickles or something and add a few little little shiny things if you want like that too. And that's pretty much our background. So it's a nice little resist snowflake background. And again, you use whatever colors you like. I really like just these really soft blue, pinks, and purples for my holiday cards. And now, as I said, this was video 1. And so in the next video, we're going to be talking about making these little bands to put across the top. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.